What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Controversy Lab.
Where controversy is key, I tell you.
And today you're joining us on our segment. We're actually going to be reviewing beers. Look, we've been drinking. So just letting you know, some of my words might be a little slurred, okay? So we're actually reviewing beers now. We're going to start doing beer reviews throughout the week. We're also going to still continue to do our podcast.
Yes.
The podcast is not going anywhere, but we're going to start with reviewing beers. Craft beers, local beers. We're going to travel all over the U.S., different pubs, different breweries. We're going to give you guys the most in-depth insight and look into beers.
From our side.
From our side.
Yes.
Right? From our perspective, our side, our views. And there's nobody online that's doing that. There's nobody reviewing beers, going state to state, pub to pub, and doing a podcast. So we figured, why not fucking take advantage of the space in the market, right?
And I think it'll be more of a and I guess I got to say it like this, a more understanding street way to find a new beer.
Yes.
Instead of just drinking the same old Budweiser, Heineken.
Yeah, if you still drinking like Budweiser, Heineken, brother, I'm going to need you to put those down and start tuning into our show.
Yeah.
So what are we actually reviewing today for the people?
Today we've actually reviewed this line previously. This is the Chimay. This is the Grand Reserve.
The Grand Reserve.
Chimay, yes. It was first launched in 1948 as a Christmas ale, but now it's just something they just keep around all the time.
Mm. So this is the Christmas ale version.
Yes.
Of the beer.
Of that. This is a Belgian. It's 9%. And shit, let's get it popping.
Shit, 9%. The first beer we reviewed was 10%. So let's get into it.
You ready for that pop? You ready for that pop?
Yeah, let's get it.
Let's see how this one sounds. Cause the other shit. Oh God, I think this is gonna be kind of scary. I think it's. Hold on. It's not. Oh shit.
You struggling? You got it?
All right, you ready? Here we go. Ready?
How you jump every time?
I love it.
Yo, I pray to God I ain't sending no fucking drunk Texas tonight. Shit.
It's a very dark color. Ooh, shiznit. Ah. Look at that. 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 Tilt, my brother, tilt. That's a beautiful color. All right, let it go.
I don't want a big head. Big head on my last one.
That's a very big, beautiful, dark brown. Mm.
Shit. That's dark.
Yeah, I like that though.
It's extremely dark. I don't really smell anything. You smell any notes?
I smell the regular wheat smell. It's just a regular wheat smell.
Yeah, it has no like. To be Grand Reserve, I don't smell shit that's standing out from the bottle.
It's just it's a regular wheat smell.
I mean, to be a Grand Reserve, I really don't smell anything that actually makes this extremely profound. I don't smell shit.
I guess let's get a tasting.
Yeah, let's get a tasting.
All right, beer reviews. So let's go back to.
Okay, so guys, if you've been watching our reviews, you know that before this we reviewed La Trappe.
La Trappe, yes.
Which was
Netherlands beer.
Netherlands beer,
yes.
Which I think is actually running fucking laps around this beer. This would be a Belgian.
Yes.
And again, the beer that we reviewed, La Trappe, I think that this beer is shitting on this beer.
Now, which is, to me as a Belgian drinker, Belgians usually have a real good flavor, a real good contrast because it's aged. This one here, matter of fact, the one we reviewed before, the other one we reviewed before was a whole lot better than this one.
Right.
And it was the second one out of the tier of 3. This is the top one. And this one is like bland.
I mean, I guess, from their perspective of them saying, this is the number one, I would assume it's because it doesn't really have any like profound flavors that just bounce off of the palate, right? So drinking this,
it's smooth as shit though.
It's extremely smooth. Like drinking this would be.
It's just there's no flavor.
That's the thing. So you can't. Okay, so for example, if you were to use like a Scotch or a bourbon, for example, right? when they say smooth, you still get all the notes of the bourbon, of the scotch, whatever you're drinking. You still get all the notes, but it's not as potent and in your face, and it distracts you away from the flavor.
Okay. Yes.
This, however, there is no flavor at all whatsoever. So
you're drinking water.
It almost tastes like I'm drinking water. There are
Carbonated water.
They're very, very slight hints. I would say that the last beer that we tried from this actual company, it tastes exactly like that, but the flavor and the taste drop severely. The Premier. So I would say that this tastes like the Premier.
And the Premier tastes like the Reserve.
And they both taste exactly alike. It feels like, to me, the company was lazy as fuck, right? So it's like, we're just going to take the Premier flavor and we're going to make this version, but we're just going to take the flavor and tonality down. So this is extremely smooth. It almost tastes like you're drinking water. I would compare it to like an American beer.
Yes.
It tastes like a fucking American beer.
Yeah.
I don't know if their whole goal was to appeal more to the American market with this beer, but it tastes like maybe that's what their goal was. Now, it's not as bad as a Bud Light to me.
No, it's not that. No, it's not
an
bad.
Ice House, right? Because
I would choose this over any of those.
Yeah, so, if it came down to it and someone said, well, I'm getting Ice House, Bud Light, or this, I'm definitely telling them to get this.
Yeah.
Because the flavor profile of this beer is way more significant, way more delicious than a domestic beer. But I will say it is watered down, and it's on that same note as being very bland as an American beer.
And when we're going to our European beer, so to speak, we're really going for flavor. This has that upscale American flavor.
It has the upscale American flavor with still the European creamy consistency.
Yeah, yeah.
The one thing that
I like the color on it too, though.
The color's beautiful, but what I will say is most beers that you're gonna try from, Europe, be it Norway, be it wherever,
Netherlands,
any beer you're gonna taste that I've noticed that is like a popular beer, it has that creamy consistency.
Yeah.
So it's no different from this beer. This beer has a definite creamy consistency. For me, well, let's just say this: 1 out of 100, what would you give it?
1 out of 100.
1 out of 100, what would you give it?
I give it a 70.
70?
Yeah.
Very generous.
You know what? Matter of fact, it scored a 94.
This beer scored 94, but I would personally give this beer a 60.
A 60?
I give it a 60, right? 1 out of a 10, I would probably give this beer. I give it a 6.5.
6.5? I'm going to flat 6. Yeah, I'm going to flat 6.
Flat 6.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm giving it a 6.5 is it's cold as hell.
My bad.
It's super cold. It's like fresh out the fridge, chill glasses. That 0.5 is that.
Yeah, it's cool. I went, but it's
what
not.
Else is there to talk about?
It's not the Reserve that I thought. I thought it was going to be more flavorful, more flavor bounding, and I would rather have the Premier over the Reserve. You gonna sneak it out? I'm not gonna mix it too without drinking water, cleaning my palate. It's just so flavorful, man.
You still have some left?
Fuck yes. I wasn't gonna just get away with it just like that. So in comparison to the colors, so this is of course a little bit darker.
Yeah, I just feel like with a steak, I wouldn't pick that.
You wanna pick that?
Because it's so good. It is so delicious. Like I wouldn't.
Steak?
No, this is so good that I wouldn't want it to compete with my steak. I want my steak to be. Hold on, let me.
You know what? I guess I can start to see your point because I wouldn't like a port. Say
because I feel like it's just taking too much.
Say in comparison to a port and a red wine.
Right.
I wouldn't order a port to eat with my steak because a port is very, very flavorful.
Very flavorful, and I feel like it would be competing with the flavor of the steak.
So I can see where you're coming from. I can agree with you.
I would want something smooth that like this on the back end. It's flavorful, but it's not overbearing. It's just like almost like water, but it still has that back note of beer and the flavors and the tonality. So it's like it helps me wash down my steak, gives me some hints of flavor, and doesn't take away from the experience.
Yeah, I agree.
That's why I say I would choose this over a delicious steak, a tomahawk, top tier steak. This I would choose if the steak was subpar. If it's like a Walmart steak, a fucking a regular Kroger steak, I would choose this.
Okay.
I would definitely choose this.
Okay, I get you that. But
because
okay,
it's going to bring the steak out. Like, because as you know, most typical regular steaks from the grocery store, like, it depends on how you cook them. Sometimes they're not that eventful if you're not getting a tomahawk or like the top tier steaks. You know what I mean? So I feel like that would help bring out the steak more.
okay. I guess I can see your point with that, yeah. And I guess I just need to look at it from a red wine to a port example.
Fuck,
So,
I'm send a drunk text to a motherfucker I shouldn't be texting. How you gonna make it?
we've been drinking a lot of beer today.
I'm about to send a drunk text to somebody I shouldn't be fucking texting. Oh, God, don't do it.
We drink a 10%. We drink a 9%.
Take my phone, Rodney. Goddamn. I'm about to send a drunk text to a motherfucker I shouldn't be texting at all.
We've had 10%. We've had 9%. So we've been drinking since today.
So, she off work yet? Oh God.
So,
text her.
Second review. It's our second review.
Come on, don't let me text her.
I am RTJ. This is Lakel. And
don't let me text her.
This is our second.
Don't let me text her. Please don't let me text her.
Our beer review.
I don't want to text her. I'm about to send a drunk text. I'm about to text chocolate, knowing I shouldn't text her.
Our beer review. You got anything? Please let us know what you think about our beer reviews. Also, drop a beer down if you want us to, check it out. Have us review on the show.
That beer got my mic stand feeling sexy.
With that being said, controversy out.
You can't end the show because I'm the editor of the show.